Hello everyone, whether you're a model car enthusiast or not. Daniel here. Welcome to my channel for a new video. This video is the second and final part of this series, where you can see how I built this amazing model, the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo VII, made by Tamiya. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're not subscribed yet, you can do it now, especially if you enjoy what I do and want to stay updated with all my latest projects. If you haven't seen the first part, I highly recommend you check it out, so you can follow all the steps that led me here. Now, let's get to work. Here you can see the radiator and intercooler, which I painted with Mr. Hobby Titanium Silver, a color I really love on these components. Once the paint was completely dry, I applied Tamiya panel liner to give depth and highlight all the details. I also used the same panel liner on some suspension parts and the lower half of the engine. After finishing with the panel liner, I moved on to the suspension, painting the springs first with silver, and after they dried, applying a light fuchsia for a candy effect. The result was very satisfying. While waiting for the paint on the suspension parts to dry, I started preparing the interior for painting. I removed the seats from their supports and applied masking tape to mark areas where I would paint in a different color or shade. Once the masking tape was applied, I began assembling the engine and suspension parts. I started with the engine and drive shafts, then moved on to the rear suspension arms with the springs, and installed the fuel tank. Next came the drive shaft with the differential, along with other suspension components and the mounting elements for the brake discs. After installing the rear brake discs, I moved on to applying the decals. Using a hobby knife, I cut out the dashboard dials and all the decals for the interior and calipers. In a small dish borrowed from the kitchen, I poured some warm water and soaked the decals. I recommend using warm water because it helps the decals separate more quickly from their backing paper. I applied a special decal adhesive before positioning them, and carefully placed each decal according to the instructions. For the radiator and intercooler grills, I used a piece of mesh leftover from another model, as the mesh included in the kit seemed a bit too large for this scale. Gluing the mesh was quite a challenge because none of my adhesives would stick to it. As a final solution, I used UV resin as glue, and in the end, it worked perfectly. Next, I prepared the transparent parts. I separated the windshield and side windows from the sprue and applied the masking sheets from the kit to trace the window outlines perfectly. At first, I planned to paint them with matte black using an airbrush, but I decided I could trace the lines safely with a black marker. The result was almost identical. While waiting for the marker to dry, I started painting the rear lights with clear red and clear orange. I had to be very careful to make the lines as straight as possible. On clear parts, any mistake is very noticeable. I also painted the headlights with clear yellow for a realistic look. For a more aggressive and cool appearance, I applied Tamiya smoke on the rear side windows, the rear windshield, the taillights, and the headlights, giving them a darker, smoked appearance. I also traced the headlight outlines with the same black marker for a detailed, realistic effect. To make the dashboard dial stand out, I applied a few generous drops of UV resin, then cured them with a small UV lamp. The difference is remarkable. The dials really pop. Once the paint on the clear parts dried, I removed the masking tape and put the pieces in a small bag to protect them until assembly. Next, I moved on to the exhaust system. I painted it with the same titanium silver as the suspension components, but for this model, I want to try a burnt metal effect. For this scheme, I chose 3 colors: clear orange, light fuchsia, and light blue. I started with orange, followed by fuchsia, and finished with blue. The result is striking, though I know it could have been even better. For the next model, the exhaust will definitely look even more realistic. To enhance the details, after gluing the exhaust in place on the chassis, I used a special Tamiya kit designed for this component, and the results are clearly visible. Next was installing the rear lights and headlights. But unfortunately, I forgot to record this part. For this model, I tested a new adhesive for clear parts, but I wasn't impressed, so in the end, I used a few drops of Loctite, as the other adhesive didn't give me confidence. I wanted this model to be special, so I installed a different set of wheels, 3D, printed in resin. These wheels are extremely detailed and require a lot of attention, each consisting of 3 separate parts, allowing for maximum detailing. I painted the rims black, then traced the outer lip with a chrome marker. The effect is amazing. I painted the spokes bronze and the wheel bolts metallic blue. The most challenging part was creating the attachment pins specific to Tamiya models and securing them to the wheel, as my usual adhesives don't stick to resin. In the end, UV resin saved the day once again. Next came the interior. I had initially tried a different color scheme, but it didn't turn out as I wanted, so I returned to the classic black with thin red stripes. For the carpet, I wanted to test a new adhesive because I hadn't yet found one that would hold the powder perfectly. This time, I used clear nail polish as the adhesive. I applied the polish, added the powder, pressed it gently, and poured back the excess into the bag. The results were promising, and the final look is very satisfying. For the window frames, I cut the tip of a black marker into a V shape, giving me precise control to trace the frames without mistakes. For gluing the spoiler, I applied red paint on the 3 contact points and positioned the spoiler briefly, marking the areas where I would remove the paint for a proper bond. Using a hobby knife, I carefully lifted the paint from those spots and secured the spoiler permanently. I also applied decals on the doors and seats, then fully assembled the interior. I mounted the side indicators on the front fenders and then installed the interior windows. The last remaining parts were the wipers, which I installed, and then I proceeded with final assembly. I glued the interior to the chassis, then joined it with the body, and finally mounted the wheels, which looked absolutely stunning in my opinion.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad. Chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back. I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me. Ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact. Give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious. I'ma go cause something, can't stop this. I'ma steal everybody's lane, call it shoplift. Sick of hearing everyone complain when they thoughtless.
Overall, this model is definitely one of my favorites, and I'm extremely proud of the final result. I hope you enjoyed watching this video all the way through, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It really helps me and motivates me to create more videos and share my experience with you. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned, because more spectacular models are coming soon. See you next time.